Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines with me, Pug Gaming. Now, before we jump into the next video, I received some great feedback from the last video and I made a few changes. So here on the beach we added some sheds, this one being the major change. Many of you agreed that that pond was a little bit too blue, so I decided to actually terraform my own one in and also add a cricket ground in the top right hand corner as well. So as always, I appreciate all your feedback and any changes that you like to suggest. I'm more than happy to put those in and implement them into my actual design. So onto this video. With the labelling as town expansion, I'm sure you know what's coming up. The next big step is to get some people into this area, and I wanted to create a medium-sized town, maybe medium to large, to be honest, based on what we've already done. I'm guessing once I build this town, the last two areas I built will probably be more classed as villages, but still, it's how it happens sometimes. So I really wanted to get a train station into this area. There's no way of connecting up the transportation at the moment with the last two areas we've built, so that was certainly something I wanted to include. And obviously, if you're used to the UK settlements, roundabouts are used all the time, so I wanted to show that across in this area. Now, I'm going to be honest, this video is not going to be much about detailing. This is pretty much me laying out the foundations to the future of this town. It's going to be a couple of episodes here to do all the detailing, maybe 3 or 4, depending on how detailed we want to go. But I'm going to give you a bit of a time lapse now on this, and we'll chat again shortly. So that's the majority of the train station done in that sense. Obviously no detail yet, but what I want to do here is sort of create an outline, sort of an estimate here of what the city centre is going to look like in this town area. Don't worry, they won't be staying as these gravel roads. It was just me to try and sort out a way of doing so. So what I wanted to do for this main city is have a one-way system into the main town. It's kind of what I've seen a lot of, especially in the area I live. The town centre is a small one-way road, sort of leading across with car parks along the side, etc. I also use my inspiration from the town I live in and surrounding towns on how the road structures lead up to each other. As you're probably aware, the UK is not very grid-like in terms of the area I live, certainly in terms of the housing arrangements. It's all sort of smooth, bendy roads leading into one another, and I think the final piece of this really does show that really well. So I also added in a supermarket and all these extra bits. I've found some great assets on the workshop here for all these little road signs, and it just makes things look a little bit more realistic. And I think it does really well. Really works wonderful. So going back to the supermarket, generally in a town the size that I'm building, there normally are 2 or 3 sort of large, not super large, but large size supermarkets sort of either end of the town. So this is going to be the main core of the town here with this supermarket. I think it's Morrison's I've done in the end. And this little area here that I'm just building up with the commercial is the one-way system of the small town. It's nothing huge, it's just going to be a road that has some shops across. The majority of this area is going to be housing. We will certainly come to the area where we can add a lot of commercial zones. I've got some very nice assets from the workshop which I really want to create a nice retail park, but it won't be in this area, it'll be elsewhere in the larger areas. And one thing that inspired me to do this town in this way is I'm actually going to base this on a town that I live nearby, which was actually one of the first garden cities. So I will be basing this and giving it the same sort of feel as a garden city. So if you don't know what a garden city is, it's pretty much a city that's dedicated to nice, pleasant garden areas and a lot of greenery, just to make things pretty for the citizens. And unfortunately, the garden city look won't really take shape until a few more episodes in, when the detail starts to happen. For now, it's just a case of getting these roads in. And getting the houses down. But you can see here, top left hand corner, that's the central area for the first part of the town. That's going to be a focal point for the main city. Okay, so I lied. There is a bit of detail in this video. I can't really go too long without doing any detail. So this is the main area, like I said earlier. This is the pond area, the central part of the town. So I just wanted to create a bit of a focal point, I guess. Nice pass around the outside, a nice flowery area with a pond in the middle, which took me a little while to work out to actually get this to work properly with the terraforming tools. I'm not quite up to the standards required to be able to do very good terraforming, but I think it looks realistic. I used the cobbles and stones around the side again, found some nice grass assets which I'll put inside the pond to give it a bit of life. I think this makes it come alive a little bit here. Obviously when the rest of the area is gardened up, as I like to put it, it will look a lot more, I guess, suited. At the moment it's literally just a plot of land in the middle without anything else around it, but we'll certainly get there, and I've got high inspirations for this. So we're going to jump into another time lapse here, just whilst I add some of the services and the rest of the mapping of the town, and we'll catch up in a minute. So that's the majority of the mapping of the town. I might make a few little changes here and there, but I couldn't hold back with a bit more detailing, so we started doing a bit of detailing here to this small communal area. So this is the area with all the flats, etc. Just wanted to give you an idea on the sort of level of detail I'm looking to go into on every segment of this town, and to give you an idea on how I want it to look. Being a garden city, trees are going to be a little bit galore as well here. But yeah, it gives you an idea on what I'm going for in this first part of this episode. And as you can see here, this is the mapping area of what we've done so far. I'm probably going to bring it down more in the next episode, a bit more to the south, but it gives you an idea on what I'm going for here. You can see the size of it already. I'm saying this is probably just over half the size I want. But once we get the detailing going, I'm going to be really excited, and I hope you're going to follow me continuously and see how it goes. So for now, guys, that's the end of this first part of the town expansion. Thanks for watching, and all the best.